Hello, this is Michael again, and I am. Vosk has just released a new version, and along with it, a 1.4 gigabyte model. And so I made a copy of the model and I tried it on my existing program, my Juliet program, and it didn't work. So I opened an issue in the GitHub repository, and the very nice gentleman who maintains the repository said that I need to upgrade my version of vosk. And so I could do that inside of my working program, but I thought this would be, well, first of all, it's not a great idea, since that is pretty much my production environment. I know that's saying a lot since it's just me using it and I don't use it that often and so on, but I don't want to break it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create another directory, and actually this is, maybe I should fork my repository first. I don't even know if I can do that, if I can fork my own repository in GitHub. Because if both of these, well, let me show you here. So I'm in my code directory here, and I've got a Juliet directory here. And I think what I'll do is move this to old Juliet, just like that. Oops. Yeah, this is good. And now, if I go into, where am I here? If I go here into my repository and I clone it, and I'm cloning it using SSH, I don't know why I have this funny prompt here. This is very strange. Oh, I know what's going on here. I have this open. I can't have this open. I've changed the name, so nothing points to it anymore. So let me just open up a regular terminal here. And then let me reclone this. All right, so now if I go back into Visual Studio Code, and if I open up this folder, Now, let's go and look at requirements.txt here. So requirements has got vosk 0.3.3, and I think that the new one is 0.3.6. So I can just replace this like that. All right, so now let me double check this.
The following is a conversation with Ilya Sutskever, co-founder.
So I'll look up vosk on all of GitHub. This does not give the, I don't see where it gives the version here. But maybe I ask this in here. Oh, I already fixed this problem, so anyway, I should come back later and help this guy out. Actually, let me do it right now. You need to close the stream. You need to close the stream. There we go. Well, I think it's 3.6, but let's see. I suppose that the easy way to fix this really is to just take that requirement out here. And just put this in, just like this. Doop, doop, doop. Yes, I know I could have done that faster. $D would have done fewer keystrokes, but sometimes I'm lazy. All right, so let me think about this for a second. Go into my README here. So first thing I should do is I should make a new virtual environment. So I'm going to open up this guy here and do a conda create minus name. So here's what I did before. So I want all of this, but I want this to be, oops. My environment is a little tricky sometimes. I forget if I hit escape, it puts sudo in front of the line, which is kind of a pain sometimes. But I think it's worth it. It's one of those things that I don't remember. It's there sometimes, but when I need it, I really like having it. So anyway, I'm going to create this Julie 2. Actually, I think I'm just going to call this J2. Otherwise, I know that every time I go to activate it, it's going to show me the Julie when it does. It looks ahead and suggests completion. It does auto completion. So anyway, let's just do this. And what is it going to stick in here, I wonder? Let's take a quick look through here. Anything in here that I don't want? Because I can request this with no site packages. I don't see anything in here that I think. I mean, there's some things in here that I don't need, but I don't know. I'm going to leave it because I'm a little bit lazy. So now we do this. And you can see over here that I've got the J2 environment here. So let's go back to the README up here. I'll make this a little smaller here. Because now I have to build my environment. Alright, so now I just changed. I didn't change this in the Juliet.yaml file. I changed it in requirements.txt. So this is a really good reason for looking at documentation, because if I had just run that, I would have done it the wrong way. So where the hell is vosk in here? All right, so I'm learning something here, because I don't think I saw port audio back in the other, in requirements. And you know what I'm not seeing here? I am not seeing vosk. So this is telling me that, dummy that I am, I've got 2 steps to take. But I can clean this up. For my next version, I will see if I remember to clean this up. I'm just going to make a quick note of this. So I need to merge requirements.txt and my Juliet.yaml. So I guess probably what this means is that I will have to install both of these, and then I will have to recreate my Juliet.yaml file and get rid of my requirements file. That's if Conda can do all of this. Let's take a quick look through here. See, the thing is that Conda is going to install these packages through their channels. And, well, actually, here's the pip section. So Conda is going to install all of these guys here. And then it's going to use pip to install these guys here, so it should be able to install vosk. And I bet there's a bunch of stuff in here that I absolutely do not need. But I'm not going to solve this problem now. One problem at a time. And so the problem I'm going to solve is, can I get this new model working with the new version of vosk? And it's really a bad idea to change too many things at once. So I need this conda env create minus blah 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 command here. Let's see if this works. All right, so that did not work. So what this is telling me here, or suggesting to me, is that I have to change the name of this file. Where is it? j2.yaml. I think that should do it for me. Alright, so back to my README here. Let's try this again. Well, first of all, I don't need that command thing on the end there, so that's all right. So that didn't work. Didn't like this. Well, let's see what's in here that I need here. So I'm going to need Pi Audio. I don't think I need any of this other stuff. And then in here, I don't think I need Beautiful Soup unless it's needed by something else. I do need GTTS. Do I need mouse info? I needed mouse info while I was doing some, I don't know, maybe Pi Auto GUI needs mouse info. That's very likely. I do need Pi Auto GUI. And this get window and all this stuff is probably all installed when one installs Pi Auto GUI. I do need subprocess. I'm not sure if subprocess is a standard part of Python 3. Let's go back here and take a look at requirements.txt here. All right, I am going to want some of these things like Flask and Flask Socket IO. Here's my GTTS is in here. I need Jinja 2. See, I don't need NumPy, but I may need it later on. I'll leave it for now. I guess this all gets put in here when Flask Socket IO is installed. This does some correction for version Python 2 syntax. Right, so the subprocess.run is in here. Let's see what's in here. Is PyAudio in here? PyAudio is not in here. So I absolutely have to include PyAudio in this environment. GTTS is in here. PyAuto GUI is in here, I believe. Is it? No, it's not in here. So PyAuto GUI has to be installed, and subprocess.run is in here. So it looks like I'm going to have to install PyAuto GUI and PyAudio. So I think that there is, well, I'm pretty sure I can do it this way. I'll go down here, install, oops, PyAudio, just like this. All right, so I think for some reason I had trouble installing this with pip before, and so I used Conda. So that's and now PyAuto GUI. This terminal doesn't really work very well for this. Let me bring up another one here. All right, this is strange because it looks as though I did install this using pip. Ah, shit. All right, so there's my PyAuto GUI. We're getting there. And so now it's Python P. I think it's -R. Install, no. There we go. This should do it. All right, in case you didn't see what I did, I'll show you that line again. Here it is. Python 3 -m pip install -r requirements.txt. So I did not use the YAML file because it wasn't working. There's something that I don't understand about that, the correct way to use it. Maybe that would do everything. In other words, maybe that would have, if I didn't have a Julia virtual environment, maybe it would have created it activated it, and then installed all of the bits and pieces that were necessary. I suspect that's the case. I'll look into it, so if I remember, I'll look into it so that I can do it correctly the next time. And I have to fix up these messy files here. So at this point, we could take a look at what we have with a pip list. And I just want to make sure, you see it's got the Flask stuff that I'm going to need, it's got the Pi Audio stuff, it's got the Pi Audio GUI stuff, which I'm going to need, and then it has subprocess.run, which I'm going to need, and anything else, and it has vosk 3.3. So I don't think that's what I wanted here. I could have sworn that I got rid of that. All right, so what this is suggesting to me is that if I go over to PyPy, vosk. Alright, so it's sending me over to, what is this latest version here? What does this say? See, this is vosk 0.3.7. So why the hell do I have 3.3? Alright, so I probably just missed something dumb. So let's try something here. Python minus pip install vosk. Alright, so here's how big a dummy I am. I've already forgotten. 0.3.7. Pip list. All right, so now we have the proper version of vosk, I hope. Alright, so there's no build task for this. I'm going to close this folder, and I'm going to open old Juliet. Old Juliet here. Let's open this up because this guy has the build task that I want here. So I'm going to copy this. So what is this that I'm doing, you may ask? Alright, so, oops, don't want that. Really, this guy, I know, I'm kind of anal. I like my setup a certain way, and you know, I like to be able to see my stats on the side there, and I don't like to keep running into this all the time. I know there's another way to do that. Sometimes I want it to auto hide, so this is why I have it this way. But now I want to close that folder. And I want to open up the new one, which is here. Terminal, configure tasks. It's just other, then actually I think what I want to do is just delete all this, then append, there we go. Alright, so what this is doing here is it is running this start Juliet shell script for me and redirecting the error. I don't want to see, well, inside this shell script does that. It redirects the error. And so this is helpful when you're working in VS Code. You want to have a standard way to start up your program. So this is just something I take the time to add. And now I can just do a Control-Shift-B, and it tries to run it, and it gave me an error here. So something is unhappy. Let's try this without redirecting the errors now. Oh, well, first of all, okay, so I know what the problem is here. Let's open up a Python file. Any Python file will do. And you'll notice down here, this is the interpreter that's being used. And that is not the interpreter that we want. So this is a pet peeve I have with Visual Studio Code, that you have to come in here. It doesn't matter if you have the environment already set, you still have to come in here and change this to J2. So now this is set correctly, and it may even run. No, we have a different problem. Something is missing or whatever. So, which Python 3. So this is not right. Conda, activate J2. Let's try this again. All right. Well, at least this is right. Let's copy this. Sometimes I hate computers. Why is this doing this? Very strange. I don't know why it's giving me a line under it as a link. Not really sure. I could have typed it in by now. And now I want tilde. I wonder if I bet my environment is, or my Python environment is not right here. Slash code J Juliet. And this is Juliet.py.
I am Julie. How can I help? To get started, you can say Julie help.
Julie, stop.
Goodbye, sir. Powering off.
All right, so that worked. So then what is the problem? Dot slash, see this, oh. All right, so my start Juliet.script must be wrong. Let's take a look at start Juliet.script here. All right, so which Python? Well, this is the command we want to run. So home bard miniconda 3 envs j2. And then everything else should be the same.
To get started, you can say Julie.
All right. So that's working. Let me see here. Open this back up here. All right, let's try something. Control Shift.
To get started, you can say Julie help.
Julie, stop.
Goodbye, sir. Powering off.
Okay, so I was just testing there to make sure that the model was working. So that means that I've got the new version of vosk, and I have the old model. So now let's go up into here and let's go into code and then into Juliet. And here's the model right up here. So what I want to do here is I want to rename this. I want to call this old model. Right? In case I want to put it back, it's going to be very easy for me to just rename this model-en and get things working. And now I know that if I open another window here and I go into code and I go into old Juliet, I've got a large model here, and I know it doesn't work here, so I'm just going to move it over to here. This is 1.4 gigabytes, so I don't want a whole bunch of copies of this around. eventually, what I should do for my system is I should have a model directory, maybe put all my models in there eventually, and then do symbolic links, but not yet. So this one here also has to be renamed, and I'm just gonna rename it model.-en. And so now we have the new large model, and let's give this a whirl and see what happens. I can close this, it's easy enough to open.
I am Julie. How can I help? To get started, you can say Julie help.
Alright, so this is not working. This is the behavior I was getting before.
I am Julie. How can I help? To get started, you can say Julie help.
Alright, so I started it up again with the without redirecting the error messages. So I want to see what's going on here. Let me copy this and go back to my here. Issue. And let's open a new issue. Oops. Was it 8 or 7? I don't remember. Oh, look at how dumb I am. Conda. Three, 7. Right, here we go. Now, before I send this off, I'm gonna Control V, put this down here. Before, well, we know it worked with the old model. Is vosk 0.37 works fine. with the old model. I wonder... Installing. Oh, incorrectly. Let me get the tree for that. All right, so is it tree? So now I can go back here and stick this in here, and this gentleman will know better what I'm trying to say. And now, why is this not going down? Here we go. All right, so hopefully this tells him everything he needs. I have a feeling that I'm just not setting this, there's something wrong with this directory structure, and so on. It's hard to know because there were no installation instructions with this new model. But I have hopes that it will work. The current one works very well, but anyway, did I put this back? Did I put it back, I wonder? Code Juliet. So let's rename this. Large model.en. And let's rename this one. Alright, so according to this, I've got lots of commits there and some new files. Let me just do a git status here. So I've got a new YAML file, which I'm not going to use. Let me just remove that. j2.yaml. Let's add large model-en to my git ignore. Large model-en. All right, so sorry, I created a backup snapshot. Built new conda. Oops. So when it starts to change color here, that means it's gotten too long. Yeah, a new env. You can only make the messages so long, so I guess this probably says it best. And then if I push that, all right, so if nothing else, I think that this little experiment should help people having trouble installing this for the first time. So I am going to publish this video because I think it might be helpful. Of course, you'll know that for yourselves. If it's just really boring, you'll just stop watching it. So anyway, I hope this helps. I will continue to work on this problem, and hopefully I'll solve some of the problems that I recognized while making this video. All right, thank you very much.